I'm Larry McGaw with RV Comfort Systems. I'm here to talk about the CheapHeat system. It's a system that allows the customer the option of either heating their coach with electric or gas. It ties into the existing forced air system, gives them a seamless process. All they have to do is flip a switch to pick between electric or gas. The kit's going to come with all the pieces that you need. The first part of it, you've got two wiring harnesses. One of them is going to go to the override switch, and one of them is going to go between the controller and the thermostat. We've also got some extra nuts and bolts, our override switch in here. We've got our heating element. We'll be opening this up and looking at this here in a minute. We've got our controller in this box. Installation instructions. And this is the optional wiring kit. It includes a disconnect, some 6-gauge wire, some 12-gauge wire, those sort of things. And we'll start here with the controller. Let's get this controller box opened up. Important, warranty card. You're going to want to make sure you get that filled out. One of the nice things about this controller is it's designed to work on either the 30 amp shore power services or the 50 amp shore power services. Plus it works on all the heat ranges that you have with the heating coils. So it's kind of a one-fits-all thing. If you look inside of here, what we've got is on this side, this is where our line voltage comes in and comes out. This is where it's going to feed the heater element. And here is where our 12 volts comes in that comes from our thermostat, goes out and runs our fan and our furnace. In here, this is our speed controller for our fan. Okay, and then what you've got here is you can see these here. These actually, depending on what fan speed you want to pick, there's a chart here that'll show you which one of these gets removed or not. There's more detail on this as you look at the installation instructions, but this is the block diagram that breaks it down for you. One of the other features about this is the way that this controller is constructed. This is a NEMA 1 box. This is as high rated a box as you can get. It's made out of 16-gauge metal. The speed controller is really unique in the way that this thing is heat sinked. It's heat sinked all the way through and screwed into the back of the box with a solid copper ingot behind it. You're not going to find anything like that anyplace else. All of the circuitry in this thing is oversized by 30 to 50%. For example, the average fan in a furnace is going to run somewhere around 10 to 12 amps. That's a 20 amp relay. Just for the thermostat control, that's a 5 amp relay. Thermostat, most it can run is 1 amp. You can see the size of the runs within the board in the brass inlays in there, just how thick this thing is. And then everything's grounded. It's all grounded to the box. You'll be grounded back into the system all the way back from the controller to the heating element all the way through. We've got a UL certification that is not only considered a residential certification, this is certified under UL for the US and Canada. Each one of these components is UL listed individually as an add-on component part. You'll find whenever you're dealing with RVs that whenever you start looking at certifications, we've got a patent that makes our system unique. We've trademarked the system. We've got a UL listing on the system. We've really gone all of the extra steps that you need. Not to mention the fact, to lessen the fact that everything in here has been over-engineered 30 to 50%. Of all the units that we have installed to this date since we've gone national, I can truly say we haven't had one failure, and that's because of the over-engineering. Okay, one of the other things we've done is our our installation instructions are all done in color. It's not just black and white. In fact, whenever you go to the wiring diagrams, you'll see that these are all done in color. All of the wiring runs, and you can see the colors are marked. They're actually in color, and these match the colors on the wiring harnesses. So it's not just that you have to follow the instructions. Everything matches. The colors all the way through the system. And then we've got a very detailed instructions. Along with those, we've got your complete compatibility chart here that lists the different models and types of furnaces that the system is compatible with, which heater element setting you would use, which cabinet assembly you would use. All right, the next thing we need to discuss is the heater coil. We were talking about that earlier. This is the heater coil that we're talking about. The heater coil, you've got one heater coil that operates at 3 different heater settings, 2 different voltages. It's all one. This is really it's unique in that it does all those. This is a patented coil. We are the only ones that have this. The other nice thing about this is it makes it so easy for the technician to hook up. All the technician has to do is slide in a wire, twist a screw, pick which heat range you want, slide in the other wire, twist the screw, put the cover back on, put 2 screws in it, and he's done. That's all there is to it. Now, the way the coil is designed, this coil has redundant safeties in it. You've got a thing that's called, these are called fusible links. And what these are set for is if these are fail safes. If this temperature limit switch at 200 degrees, which controls the air temperature inside the coil, ever exceeds this, or this switch fails, these burn through internally and shut the system down. There's no way that this system can get over 333 degrees. It will shut off, period. So it's 100% safe system. All right, up to now, what we've been talking about is we've been talking about the controller and the heater element. The last part that's the important piece of it is the add-on cabinet piece. This is the piece that actually fits on the end of the cabinet on the furnace inside the coach. So the air from the furnace blows into this cabinet. In this cabinet, we have our coil that slides inside the cabinet. It can slide into this side, or it'll slide in from the other side. Okay, depending on which side you slide it in on, you're going to have this plate that fits on the opposite side that has the locking pins that slide through to support the heater element when you're traveling down the road. This one is for the ducted system that has the individual ducts running off of it. And this cabinet is for the plenum system, where you have the duct that runs underneath the furnace that attaches directly to the furnace. This is not a do-it-yourself thing. This is something you need to find somebody that is qualified and certified to work on RVs. Do we provide training? Absolutely. Any dealer that comes on, that we bring on, we provide training. We've got a support system where they can call us. We can talk them through the entire system from front to back, any wiring issues they've got, any mechanical issues they've got with regards to hooking it up. Our support team is second to none.
I decided to try this system because my back is a little on the touchy side, and the propane tanks are getting heavier every year. Just in order to cut down on the propane use, I thought probably this would be a good alternative to that. And this just seemed like a good way to go. A couple of the people here had done it, and they seemed perfectly happy with it. Basically, it cut out their propane use, and they simply didn't have to deal with the propane.
Overall, I am exceptionally pleased, as is my husband, with getting this system. It has saved us money, and it has saved wear and tear on my husband because he doesn't have to schlep the propane bottles to get them filled every when you're using a gallon of propane a day, it doesn't, with the regular furnace, the propane furnace, it doesn't take long to go through a bottle of propane. So, and electricity in our neighborhood and our neck of the woods is a lot cheaper than propane. So when you're retired on a fixed income, every penny counts. So I like the system a lot.
What are the advantages to the end user to installing our CheapHeat system? The main advantage is the ability to be able to use electric over propane. Now, whenever they're plugged into an RV park, they don't have to worry about running out of propane at 3 o'clock in the morning, not having any heat. They don't have to worry about paying the additional cost of the propane, because with the CheapHeat system, they can provide 100% of their heating needs with the electric forced air system. Not only does it heat the upper part of the coach, by tying it in to the central heating system, it allows them to heat the basement as well, and it prevents freezing of pipes, things like that. Also, you can look at the cost associated with the electric versus gas, and whenever you do the math, you'll find out in the majority of the cases, even if you were paying for the electricity would be cheaper. But I think probably the most important thing is what it does to your heating system. It actually increases the life expectancy of the furnace. It reduces the temperature that the shaft on the motor is going to see. It helps increase the fan motor runtime, overall life of that. The comfort is amazing. With the gas furnace, you have a pre-purge and a post-purge cycle. That has a tendency to have the coach be either too warm or too cold. With the electric heat, that all goes away. Along with the comfort, you also have what it does with regards to the airflow in the system. What we found is whenever we put on our system, because of the way that the duct has to be reattached to our ductwork, it has a tendency to increase the airflow throughout the system and make it more even throughout the coach. Again, that lends itself to the comfort. So you're looking at increasing the longevity of the existing parts inside the furnace. You're looking at improved comfort level. You're looking at reduced cost, and it's a green system. You don't have fossil fuel burning now. You don't have to worry about pollution, and you've reduced your carbon footprint. I think that you're going to find this to be one of the best products you've ever installed in your coach.